In a surprising turn of events, the political landscape of Rivers State has been tumultuously shaking with the unexpected resignation of the state's House of Assembly Speaker, Edison Ehie. This development holds significant implications for the state's governance and raises questions about the future of politics in the region. Known for its vibrant political scene, often marred by intense rivalries, Rivers State hits the headlines again with a rebounder for a strategic move. The State House of Assembly, composed of elected representatives, play a crucial role in the state's legislative affairs. At the epicenter of this power structure, the Speaker acts as a pivotal figure responsible for maintaining order, facilitating debates, and influencing key decisions in a shocking announcement that caught both political pundits and citizens off guard. The Rivers State House of Assembly Speaker, Edison Ehie, tendered his resignation in a letter dated 29 December 2023 and addressed to the National Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission Office in the FCT, Abuja, notifying the INEC Chairman of his voluntary resignation as Speaker and member of the 10th Rivers State House of Assembly, representing Ahoda East Constituency 2, with effect from the date of the letter. The Speaker's departure marks the end of an era in the state political narrative. Is this a power vacuum? What next is in store for Rivers State? Thanks for joining us. I am your carrier, Clinton, and welcome to Nigeria Today. Now, joining us in the studio to analyze and discuss this in-person move in Rivers State politics is Main Nasara Kogo Umar. He's a lawyer, international analyst on democracy and nation building. Yeah, welcome to Nigeria Today.
I'm always pleased to be here. Happy New Year, Nigerians.
With us also is a distinguished guest who is the editor-in-chief and publisher of the Beam Weekly News Magazine, Port Harcourt, Rivers State, Chief Obi Ndukwe. Welcome to Nigeria Today.
Thank you very much.
Now, I will start with you, Obi. You understand the political terrain of Rivers State, having been there for quite a while. Tell us, what does it feel like with this resignation? Although he's a factional Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly. Tell us, what is the resignation like? This sudden resignation. What does it feel like, within that state right now?
Well, the sudden resignation of the factional speaker, I'm sure it came to everyone as a surprise. We were not expecting that. We had hoped that with the resolutions and then the acceptance of the governor to abide by the peace deal they had with the president, maybe things would have just taken shape naturally. Probably they go to court, withdraw some of the cases, all the cases and all that. But for him to have tendered his resignation, well, some school of thought say he is not the speaker, he's not recognized. Why? Some school of thought say, well, since there was a valid court order pronouncing him as the speaker, and as long as that order has not been vacated, then it means in the eyes of the law, he is the speaker. But the law sometimes may be different from the political aspect of the whole thing. The Martins Amehule, who is leading about 27 others, was the one that was actually elected before the crisis snowballed into something else. So for the speaker, for Edison Ehie to have tendered his resignation, many people think it's all because of the peace process. But if you look deeper, it goes beyond. It's like it's opening another vista of political crisis and going to set the tone for a new conversation in the polity. Why? Because saying that he was the speaker and writing to INEC means that the speaker is no longer there. And when the speaker is not there, what does the Constitution say will be the next thing to do? So it's creating a vacuum. But again, I just want to remind you that even the Ametins Amehule-led speaker, the one that even the governor recognized at the state banquet that's held yesterday night, it was there. It was boldly written, and the clerk of the House had actually issued a statement today saying that that letter by Edison Ehe was fraudulent because he was never elected as the speaker. So it's going to, we are looking at the issues, it's a developing story. We want to see what's going to happen in the next couple of days. But I think that it's all part of the process to, for them to resolve the issues.
Also, as he's a strong supporter of the governor of Fubara. Now, Menasara, with the, like she rightly said, it came to some people as a shock, his voluntary resignation. Now, how do you perceive this resignation?
Well, in all honesty, it didn't reach me as a shock. Going by the political trajectory of the squabbles going on in River State over the first 1-2 months, one will not be surprised, really. Even the attempted panacea that His Excellency President Tinubu wanted to evolve, at the end of it, it was not all Uhuru, because some real powerful statesmen in the state really kicked against it. And they said that that one was like a death sentence if they should accept that this thing. You know, the whole thing is a very symbolic manifestation of the character of an average politician. You know, in Nigeria, we have politicians with the deficiency of statesmanship. A statesman is somebody who should be concerned about the longevity of the system, about the integrity, about the quality of the power play. A politician who is normally lacking 3 qualities cannot be considered as a statesman. The first quality is that you must be prepared to be disciplined. Discipline is what will give you the ability to play by the rules of the game. By the rules of the game. The second one is that you must be prepared to be somebody who stands on morality. Morality is what will give you the ability to eschew bitterness, to really go against whatever will bring you shame, or anything that will be repugnant to the interests and aspirations of the people you are representing. And then the third one has to do with patriotism. In other words, you should put the nation or the state, as the case may be, over and above your parochial personal interest. Now, if you look at the whole shenanigan, it's centered on self-interest. It is not centered on the development of democracy. It is not centered on bringing the deliverables from the doorsteps of the common man. And it is not centered on the ability of winner takes all, or the ability of Commonwealth's leadership within the state parameters. If you look at it carefully, it is clear sense of a conflict of interest, whether interest of individuals or interest of group blocks within the political setting in River State. So I am really not surprised. I look forward to seeing the possibility of even more of this. This is more or less like a prelude to more of that will happen in the year 2024. It is far away from resolution. Whosoever analyzes the situation very well will really not be surprised regarding the trajectory of it. Up to now, it is far away from getting resolved.
Okay. Now, Obi, with this move by the factional speaker, Edison, you know, what do you see happening in the politics in River State? Having been there for a while, I know you'll be, you know, in a very good position to tell us about this.
Well, like he just said, it's going to open up a lot of, you know, political issues more and more beyond what we expected. Because I had thought that if they had agreed, just like the governor said, to abide by the resolutions, the peace resolutions of it doesn't matter if the leader, the elders say, oh, it doesn't suit them. What matters is what the governor wants. He's the key player there, you know. And he has said he accepts that. But again, if the guy who is in his own side, the speaker, the factional speaker, who is his own ally, says, okay, I've resigned. Like I said, there are 2 approaches. One, was he resigning because I want to abide by the peace process? There were no legalistic stuff in that resolution. It was just all about go and do this, and they accepted they would do. And so if the guy says, I am done with this, I want to move on, fine. But again, like I said, there is a court order, a subsisting court order, which has not been vacated. The matter was, I think, adjourned to sometime in January. And so what it means is that they still need to go to court, and he will need to go to court, either withdraw the matter or the court gives whatever orders they want to give based on his resignation. So now there's some kind of quietness because people don't even know what to expect. Those who were supporting Edison somehow feel that, oh, we didn't see this coming. He didn't explain to us. I mean, they are kind of shocked and disappointed because with the support they got from some of the people, the elders and all that, people expected that they would fight headlong. But I don't see the governor prepared to fight. Maybe he has also weighed it and seen that if he continues with this fight, it may consume him. So he decided, well, let's put this in that. And how does he go about it? Edison, as far as he's concerned, the court had declared him validly elected. And then don't forget that he didn't just resign as speaker. He also resigned his membership of the House. That's enough for us to know that this guy is done with whatever that has to do with the assembly. But like I said, it must go through the right process since there was a court order. And so that court order is what we want to see, how they are going to handle. Nobody can just wish that away, that because he has resigned, everything is resolved. And then, of course, for the people on the other side, who have even the majority in the assembly, the question people are asking, many people are saying, Edison had written to INEC and said, look, this guy's seats are declared vacant. In his letter of resignation, he made no reference to that. He didn't withdraw the letter he wrote. Does it mean that because he has resigned, that letter is no longer valid? So these are the issues. So we are going to be seeing a lot of developments because the people on the other side, the weak case group, will definitely have to explore the options, look at it, process the letter and the implications for them before they can go ahead. I don't want to talk about the legality of the 27 lawmakers losing their seats because I also have my own understanding of what the law says about defections and all that. So we are going to be seeing a lot of drama. I believe that, like my colleague said, it is not the end of the matter.
Okay, now, Menasha, back to you. She mentioned the court order.
Yes.
And in his letter, he didn't really state the reason. No reason really was given.
So, state any reason.
No, I'm not done. Just hold on there. Now, for the Constitution rightly stated that if you're resigning as a speaker, you should write to the clerk, right?
Yes.
And now here we have a letter that is addressed to the INEC chairman, okay? Even though it's also included that he's resigning and is, in fact, going away entirely from the legislature. Now, tell us, what is the implication of all of this put together, including the court order? What does this mean?
No, fundamentally speaking, you know, it is an attempt to emasculate the judicature, to emasculate the judiciary. In the first place, even the so-called peace accord, you know, midway by President Tinubu, was really uncalled for because the matter was already taking legal process. For you to now intervene midway when a matter is already getting judicial attention, it is an affront to Section 36, Sections 230 to 304 of the Constitution. So long in democratic parlance, the interests of the majority of the populace, as per Section 14 subsection 1 of the Constitution, which says sovereignty belongs to the people. So long consideration of democracy will not be based on the aspirations of the people. We will continue to have these kind of things. The Constitution is very clear. You cannot, once you now defect to another party, or except, I mean, once you now defect to another party, except if your own party is having friction. Where there are two factions there, then you will not lose your seat. But where there is a faction, you will lose your seat. But fundamentally speaking, and that one remains a paradox, because based on the practice going on in the country, we have seen so many people, some even the party is even having fractions, but yet they remain seated in their legislative seats at the states and at the federal level. We have really seen that one. So the most important thing is that we have to go back to the drawing board. In other words, you have to give the court its own hegemony. You have to give the judiciary its own hegemony. You have to allow the judiciary to do whatever is needful. It is really an affront for you to even be intervening in the first place. These matters are already before the courts. The courts will be allowed to really dispense the matter and then give judgment, which will be the standing norm. But so long we will now go and be thinking that there are some authorities that are higher than the court, is an affront to democracy itself, not only against the court. So my position on that is that they must allow the substituting court case to continue until we reach the termination. At the end of it, where somebody is aggrieved and is not satisfied, he is at liberty constitutionally to really appeal up to the Supreme Court level as provided under sections 230 to 304. So as far as I'm concerned, attempts by people that think they are political power lords, whether at the level of the River State or at the federal level, these are the things that are meddling of the lucidity of the ability of the judiciary to dispense the matter in decorum.
Okay. Now, Obi, having heard what Nasser there had to say, now, whether we like it or not, there is a vacuum. Okay? A vacuum has been created. Someone has left the assembly, the state assembly. Now, I'm asked, are we going back to square one? Because it automatically means there will be another election. Or what do you think?
Because if he says he's resigning his membership of the assembly based on personal reasons, nobody can fault that. And then, of course, when somebody resigns, of course, INEC will be notified because INEC is going to conduct a fresh election. You know, yeah. Yes, with the letter. So even those who are talking about the clerk, writing the clerk, of course, yes, he will write the clerk, but he also needs to notify INEC because INEC is the authority that will conduct a fresh election for his replacement. And then, like my colleague said, when a matter is in court, Edison Ehie filed a suit in his capacity as a speaker and as a member of Rivers State House of Assembly. Now, while the matter is still subsisting, before even the substantive suit is heard, he decides that he is resigning. He's no longer interested. There is a party that sponsored you, and there is a position you're occupying. You didn't just go to court because you're Edison. You went to court because you have a platform as a member of the Rivers State House of Assembly and maybe a speaker. And now he says, I'm not doing this again. I withdraw my membership. I will do other things. Now, where do we go from here? It's simple. INEC will conduct a fresh election in that constituency and get him replaced. Now, what we expect next is when the matter comes up in court, he will appear in court or through his lawyers to say, I am withdrawing. Now, many people seem to be upset about the peace resolution, made by the president. But like I always say, if not that they made it public, it's not really our business. It ought to be their internal affair. And then if the governor says, I want to move on, let me even ask a question. Senator Ifeanyi Ubah of YPP defected recently to the APC. Why is nobody talking about him losing his seat? We have had several people who defected when there were no visible issues of crisis in their party. And then they never lost their seat. Now, why is the case of Rivers very important to everybody? Why is everybody interested in Rivers? I think it just goes even beyond the democracy and beyond internal party, strengthening the internal party, democracy of internal parties. The reason why a senator will defect, and nobody's talking about it, but a lawmaker at the state assembly, don't forget that the Senate is higher in hierarchy, and then a lawmaker or lawmakers in the state assembly now defect. It is for the courts, not for us, to determine and decide whether they are abiding by section 109 subsection G of the Constitution. And what does it say? It says you can only defect if there's a division. Who will interpret that division? We have been following events before the election, before the general elections, when 5 governors of the PDP pulled out and refused to support the candidate of their party, Atiku Abubakar. They opted for Tinubu. They made it open. It was clear. There were issues. And those issues have not been resolved. And even till now, PDP is still not able to even suspend or expel Nyesom Wike, the minister for FCT. And not just Wike. And like I said, there were 5. So we shouldn't even be dwelling on Wike alone. If they are going to wield the big stick, it has to be the 5 of them. And then what it means is that for people to be suspended or expelled, and these are leaders at that level, it means that there is crisis in that party. There's no two ways about it. We can't pretend that there are no issues. Now, when a party when leaders decide to do anti-party publicly, and they are proud about it, and then one of them has been appointed and maybe some others, then what explanation again do we need to give? The guys that defected, the lawmakers that defected are they see Wike as the leader of the PDP in the party. And I'm sure the governor has also said it, that Wike remains his boss and his leader.
Okay. I'll have to stop you at this point. I know you have quite a lot to say that. Now, Nasara, looking at the whole scenario that played out in Rivers State, what picture does it paint of governance in Nigeria?
Well, it provides a scenario whereby individuals are richer than the state. Individuals are richer than the political parties. The case of Rivers State is a classical case of feud between 2 individuals, Governor Fawora and His Excellency Nyesom Wike. These are the 2 individuals. There is no evidence whatsoever to show that the PDP as a party there has friction in Rivers State. For you to have a friction, there must be 2 separate offices. There must be 2 separate leaders of the executive members of the political parties. There must be 2 separate, symbols and other things of the political parties. But in Rivers State, there is nothing like that. The crisis between 2 individuals is what they are using, the symbolism of party. But there is nothing like party there. We have not seen the position of PDP as a party coming out in Rivers State to say, this is where we belong. We have not seen 2 factions of PDP in Rivers State. The PDP at the national level has not commented to say that, yes, in Rivers State we have 2 factions. These are just conflicts of 2 individuals within the same party. So that should be understood. It is not a case of 2 parties within one.
Okay, so Obi, give us your final thoughts. What does this really spell for democracy? Because of course, after the entire crisis, there was a peace agreement, peace resolution that was agreed upon by both parties, which of course is a good thing. And Governor Fawora said he will abide by this peace resolution. What does this spell for the democracy in Nigeria?
Well, democracy in Nigeria, it has its own definition, if you want me to say that. Democracy in Nigeria is different from what, I think it was General Abacha that said it sometime. He said we have our own type of democracy, and that's what we are seeing. This is not the first time. It's been happening in several states, so Rivers State cannot be singled out. But I think that we are learning every day and hope that someday we'll get it right. But of course, the judiciary has a role to play in strengthening the democracy, because people cannot be doing stuff and running to the courts and then coming to get judgment and say, I am this, I am that. The judiciary needs to help us to strengthen this democracy we are talking about. And until that is done, we will continue to have this crisis, and this is not the first time and may not be the last.
Thank you very much. And with that we'll wrap up today's episode of Nigeria Today. I want to thank our guest, Nasara Kogo, a legal practitioner. Thank you so much for your thoughts and your contribution. And of course, Obi Ndukwe. Obi Ndukwe is a member of the PEN. Is of the PEN profession, I'll put it that way. Thank you so much for your time and your contribution. And thank you for being part of the program. Don't forget, Nigeria Today airs weekday at 7:30 p.m. on NTA News 24. You can also watch this episode and other episodes on www.youtube.com/NTA News 24 Hub. Once again, thank you for watching. I am Eucharia Clinton. Goodbye.